Welcome to Sober.Coffee, a weekly coffee chat sharing experience, strength, and hope for anyone on the sober road to recovery. You can download Sober.Coffee weekly on all podcast platforms and check us out on Instagram at Sober.Coffee Podcast and on Twitter at Sober.Coffee Pod. To learn more about us and to help support these sessions, visit online at Sober.Coffee. Here are your hosts, two guys on their own path to recovery, Mike and Glenn. Let's join them at the coffee shop.
Good morning, Glenn. Good morning.
What's happening, my brother? How are you, man? Good morning.
Doing good. You know, it's funny, we were talking before
Parking lot.
Yeah, the parking lot chat, and you said your soul is tired. I said, I'm dragging. And you said, my soul's tired. I mean, that's worse than dragging. I mean, that's a couple levels deep.
Yeah, so, as you know, we're connected to a bunch of guys, right? And I'm doing this new group for AA guys. This rooted group.
Right.
And so they're like over me already. You know, but I'm like, hey, define that, right? I mean, as I get to know people, I want to know how you define things.
I know, right.
I mean, people throw words around like they're, pieces of confetti, and it just, it's funny how little people think about what it means that they're saying.
Right.
It's just amazing. People just throw words around like they shoot a gun of confetti.
Yeah, it's funny. I used to throw the word love around. I did.
I
love you, man.
Or the better one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh yeah. But threw that around.
So love. What does love mean to you?
Right. Well, it meant two different things. Okay. So pre-sobriety, right? Love was just a word. It was just a word in a sentence. That was the extent of it. I love you, man. Hey, how you doing? I love you, man.
Okay. So pre-sobriety, you used it universally?
I did, yes.
I only used it to my significant other and my kids and my parents.
Yeah.
I never said it. I thought it was weird. I thought it was gay. I thought it was whatever. I just thought it was weird. And I only said it to, family or significant others.
You say it a lot now?
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
But I know how I define it now.
Okay. Is the word appreciation in your definition of love?
No. For me, love, I mean, I define it now. I'll tell you exactly where I was. It was 2008, and I was in a hotel room, and I was talking to this girl on the phone, and we were early in a relationship, and I told her I loved her. And she shot back, and she goes, "What does that mean?" And in a split second, it clicked for me. And I said to her, it means when I care for you and your well-being more than my own.
Okay.
And she was floored. She didn't expect an answer. I didn't expect to give an answer, right? But it's like when I care for you and your well-being more than my own. So I use it quite often today.
Right.
And I use it for our brothers. I tell, there's a couple of guys at work, I tell them I love them. Because when I show up at work, I think about them and their world and their success and their well-being more than my own.
Okay, that's fair enough. I like that a lot.
So that's how I define it. I mean, love used to be a sexy thing, right? Oh, I love you.
Yeah, no, it has nothing to do with that to me anymore.
But I used it, I remember
in
college, I used it as a manipulative word, right? I would manipulate, women,
right?
With that word. Oh, I love you, and it, no actions.
Right, sure.
It was only words.
Right.
And it was dangerous.
Well, and think about it, too. I mean, I know we're in a sketchy area there, but you had a motive. You had a motive to use the word.
Oh,
now, it just comes out because, again, my definition of love, I love yours, love. I love yours, but my definition is that there's a deep-rooted appreciation and respect for that person, right? To which and like prayer, like if I say to you, hey, I'm praying for you today, I'm praying for you because I think
that's an action word.
It's an action word for me, right? And love, like when I say it, I really kind of take a stutter step and appreciate who I'm extending that love to, right? So I mean, if I'm like, hey, like I got a lot of brothers that I love in the program. Danny, Mark, we start our day together and in Texas, and I just we throw that word around a lot between the three of us because there is such a deep level of respect, concern, care for each other. But I also have sisters in the program but I always tag it with I love you I love you, sister. Because I just don't want, because the word is so misused so often.
Do you ever say it and don't mean it?
No.
Yeah, I don't either.
No, it just.
I mean, it's very calculated.
Well, no, mind you, have you ever caught yourself in two places? Number one, have you ever caught yourself wrapping up a phone call with a business client where you go, okay, bye, I love you. Have you ever? No, I've done it I've just been at the end of the call.
No, because I'm so purposeful when I use it. I mean, I really,
right.
and what's funny is I've used it with a couple business guys, and they're put off, they're caught off guard.
Sure.
Right, and so it's kind of, but no, I'm very purposeful when I use it, and I don't just say it, I live it.
Right.
And if those guys were ever.
Right.
Call me and,
sure.
and I mean I would demonstrate.
You would love.
Oh, I would love
on
yeah.
It, right.
And I think it's amazing how many people I love today. And when I say my soul's tired, maybe that's why.
Right.
Maybe I'm not taking care of my own oxygen mask. Maybe I'm just giving and 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 giving. Get it, Brian? Giving and giving and giving. Right. And right, but I don't know.
But it's a good kind of exhausted, isn't it?
I don't know.
I think it is. I think it's a good kind of exhaust when I go to bed at night and I've given more than I've taken. I
do that every single day.
But it's a good kind of exhaust for me to lay in bed and go,
I do it every single. In fact, a lot of my rewards right now, I do the work and my rewards are much, much later.
Right. Yeah.
Which I guess goes to the word patience.
Patience. There's another word. So how do you define patience?
So I don't know. It clicked for me this morning because there was a guy in our group, who has a relationship or doesn't have a relationship or wants a relationship with his 16-year-old daughter, right? Mm-hmm. And the first thing I told him, and not to be offensive, I'm like, but she's probably a mental patient, right? I mean, mm-hmm. I've had deep experience with 3 teenage girls, right? And when they hit 16. And their hormones and their brains are developing, and I mean all the pressure they get from social media and from school.
True.
I mean sometimes they're mental patients, right? And my wife tells me, she goes, Glenn, just be patient, right? By the time they hit 25, they'll level out.
Right.
And man, if she's not right. 'Cause I got 2 that are more than 25, and they're amazing women, right? But I got one right now, and she's in her mental patient world, right? She's focused on herself. Nothing else matters, right? Mm-hmm. So I've shared my experience, strength, and hope with this guy, right? And just the other night, because I know he's frustrated. He has great relation with his 2 younger kids, but his 16-year-old daughter, he's just not there. She doesn't want to spend time with him. Doesn't want, right? And so it's like, what's the word we're using? Attraction, not promotion.
Right.
I'm like, just live the best dad life you can live, be the best man you can be, keep improving. She will notice. And over time, what we have noticed so many times, so many examples, is those relationships turn around.
Right.
But what kills it, what kills the project or the progress or the magic in motion is we're not patient.
Right.
I got another sponsee, and I mean he. It's probably an ego thing, right? Oh, I'm the dad. I'm great. They should want to have a relationship with me. Mm-hmm. Fuck that. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's so over.
Right.
And it's just like, dude, that is ego. And I'm like, you know what? Just keep doing you. I said, and they will come around. Mm-hmm. There's literally only one guy in AA that I know, and he's 25 years sober, and his kids don't want anything to do with him. He's the only guy that I haven't seen mend fences and mend relationships at some level. And I think because he's an absolute asshole jagoff.
So he's dry.
Yeah. I mean, he thinks he's not, but he's a jagoff.
Right.
And so I wouldn't want to be around him at all, right? So I understand why his kids don't want to be around him. But everybody else, that gets in this program and stays in the pool and makes progress. So what I said this morning with the word patience is, I said it's the thread that mends, right? So the first thing I thought about was that Japanese stuff, that
the broken
pottery
base.
that's put together with gold, right? But I was driving it and I didn't know how to spell it. And Karetsu, I think it is what it is. And so I'm thinking of that, and I'm like, well, let me think of something better. I said, patience is the thread that mends. And when you're trying to mend relationships, I think of two pieces of the cloth, and patience is the, you don't snap your fingers and things are sewn back.
No.
It's a process. You got to pick the thread. You got to pick the needle. You got to pick the right color thread, and then you got to do it one stitch at a time.
Right.
And you know what? I think as alcoholics, and I don't want to paint everybody as, I'm an alcoholic, right?
Right.
But I think as alcoholics, we like instant solutions.
Wait a minute. Isn't that what the world is fed?
I think so.
Alcoholics, non-alcoholics.
I think so. I think that's how dopamine works.
Well, sure. And I think that's how messaging from advertisers comes across. Have the best life now. Have the best life now. Lose weight now.
Here's a funny story. So years ago, I bought a lot of cars in my day, and I the clunker I drive now, and I drive it on purpose.
Right.
I just love it. I'm driving these investors around, and my car's got 190,000 miles on it, 2016, and she's like, "Hey, why don't you drive my car?" I'm like, "No." She goes, "You don't want to drive around that thing," and it's nice. You see my car. I mean, it's not a beater,
right?
But it's not it's not a Mercedes 2025, right? And so she goes, "Hey, you should drive." I'm like, "No." She goes, "Why?" I'm like, "Because that car is me." And I'm really intent. It's really important for me to be me. But back in the day, I would go to a dealership, and if I couldn't drive that car home that night, I wouldn't buy it.
Right. There you go.
If they said, "No, we need to do this, and you can pick it up Monday," I'm not buying it.
I'll go to the next place.
And they would look at me. I'm like, "No, if you want to sell me a car, sell it to me tonight." And I think the first car, I got special ordered one, and it drove me nuts. I mean, I just felt useless. I felt like I left out of there and didn't accomplish anything.
You know what this knucklehead did? I bought a stick. I'd never driven a stick in my life. So I'm in the dealership with my wife, and we picked out a car, and we do all the paperwork. Same night, get the keys. I hand them to her. I said, "You drive home." She goes, "Why would I drive home? You drive home. It's a brand new car." You were the one who wanted it. I
don't know how to drive
but
it.
I've never driven stick before.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I learned the next day on the expressway going downtown. I drove it. I spun out.
You learned how to drive a stick on the Dan Ryan. That's nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So patience, I think is acquired. I don't think you just wake up one day and you're patient. I think it's a discipline. Would you agree?
Oh,
with that?
I think without a doubt, it's a muscle that you have to be aware of, and you got to work. And I was just thinking, because of how I feel when I'm being patient, and I use the two words "suffer better." Right? I have to sit in the situation, right? Just like I lost 55 pounds this year.
Didn't happen overnight.
No, it didn't. And it was week at a time, day at a time. And I'm doing the right thing. I'm living the right thing. And I get on the scale in the morning, and I gained a pound.
Right.
What in the world?
Right.
Sure. You got to be able to suffer better through that and say, "Hey, give me a pulse check. Give me a pause. I know what the path I'm on. I know it's working. I'm seeing it working. I get a temporary blip." But I mean, patience is not fun.
No. And
especially if you're business driven, results driven.
Well, sure.
Type A, whatever your word.
And if you're short-sighted, if you take a longer view, a Warren Buffett view, right? You're in Coca-Cola.
I hate Warren Buffett views.
I know, but you're in it for the long haul. So you don't care if the market goes down a day, a week, a month. You're in it for the long haul. Sometimes you have to. Patience means you're in it for the long haul. You're not going to see the results on a given day. The market might go up, it might go down, but ultimately that it's going to pay dividends and be a good investment for you in the long haul if you just stick with it.
I mean, I use that patient word. I flex that muscle every single day. I mean, I'm sitting there, I'm waiting on a deal right now. It's going slower than molasses. It's going, but it's just slower. It doesn't go at my pace. It's okay. What I can do is get my ego, right? Because what I also said in that text string, I said patience is the thread that mends relationships. But what I also said is I can use a sledgehammer, i.e. ego, right? And I can mess things up really fast, really bad, like with this deal. I mean, I can impose Glenn into it, and guess what? I won't have a deal.
Right.
I mean, there's so many situations in my life right now where I just am flexing the patience muscles, right? For example, I had shoulder surgery, right? And, I can't wait to get back into the gym and get the next 5 levels, right? But my physical therapist says, look, you can do that and you're going to mess it up. There's a reason why we have a timeline here. There's a reason why we have a progression chart, right? And so I see the doctor this week, and they're going to give me the clearance of whether I can go to the gym or not. But I'm doing things the right way, and I'm being patient. I can use the sledgehammer and be in the gym, and now I'm back in surgery again. So
where do you learn to leave the sledgehammer down on the ground? Is that maturity in life, or is that sobriety in action?
Can I use a combo of both?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's both. I think number one is in September of 2014 when I surrendered, I got out of the ego chair. It was like I had so much proof that I sucked. I had so much proof that my way didn't work. It's so much proof that I was no longer the smartest guy in the room. I was never the smartest guy in the room, but I thought so. I just had so much proof, right? Then I see, in fact, the funniest thing is now, I say the B team, the C team, right? And I'm amazed because being on the B team and C team, I just let life happen around me, right? But I still have my opinion. I still have my crock brain, right? And I'll sit there and I want to make a suggestion, and somebody else says, no, let's do this. So I'm in the B team. I'm like, fine, whatever, right? I just acquiesce. And then guess what? Their way turned out better than my way ever would have. I think that's the maturity part.
Gotcha.
So I think it's a combination of each, but patience isn't fun.
No.
Where are you being patient today? Give me 2 areas.
Oh, I would say first and foremost financially, because like you said, you can't make money overnight. You have to work it. I mean, put it on a small scale. That check comes every other week, right? So you have to work diligently through that. So what is that? How does that apply to me? I want funds faster than is realistically going to get me there. So I have to go back and recheck my expectations.
Or your game plan.
Oh, my game plan. Right, exactly.
So it's funny, let me jump in. I get paid once a month.
Yeah.
So like by noon on the first day of the month,
sure,
I have all my money spent.
Right, sure.
So I was like all excited, and then I'm like, okay, what am I going to do for the other 29 and a half days?
Right.
Just
I got for the next check.
Yeah, I got blank money left over, and like, what am I going to do? Right.
I know.
So it's crazy. All right, so money's one thing.
Yeah,
financial.
and then really kind of working with other guys. I want them at a point of peace. I want for them what I have now. And what I have now is much more than what I had 30 days ago, right? Because I just have there's more solidification of what I've been building on. What I mean by that is I want these guys to stop worrying about things they shouldn't be worried about. I want them to stop controlling things they can't control. I want them to stop, taking life and making the mountains out of molehills, right? When it's really just as simple as, in most cases, in most of the things they're struggling with, pick up the phone, go have coffee with the person you're having a problem with. Don't avoid it, right? But
do you have the maturity to know that through this, there's times where you got to just sit back and let the concrete set?
Absolutely.
I mean, you just do. And we were talking about that Rudy group, right? And I've done 5 of them, right? So I know the path from A to Z, and I forcefully pull back
Oh, good.
Because if I go to A to Z, then they miss elemental P.
Right.
Right. And there's
it's
value in elemental P.
Right. It's the journey. It's not getting to the last chapter.
Right. And I literally, because I'm like driving, right?
Yeah,
I want them to get it just like you. I wanted to get it. How about your health stuff? Are you patient with that?
I would say yes. I'm very.
Well, because you have to be when you do a test and they make you wait.
They make you wait. Well, they kind of make you wait because I did a test last week.
And you're trying to ask the person what it looks like?
Well, I did that, but then they put the results up to be read by a specialist, but yet they give me access to that data.
So now you're the specialist.
Now I'm going to analyze it, right?
Did you throw the test up in ChatGPT?
Oh, I did indeed. Yeah, we're all happy with it.
That's
but
hilarious,
that's funny
man.
because I wouldn't wait the couple of weeks for the doctor. I got to figure out. I got to diagnose myself.
Okay, but at times when you do that, when you're impatient and don't follow the process, you actually screw things up.
Absolutely,
because Dr. Google blows.
No, always point you back to the C word.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I hurt my toe. I literally dropped something on my toe.
You have 3 months to live.
And now I got 3 months to live. Oh, my goodness. Be patient. Let me ask you, where in your life are you finding that the patience has matured to a place where, like, do you ever step back and go, wow, that really, I think you did. I think you exampled it before where you let somebody else kind of let their direction go and it turns out better. But do you struggle with patience anymore?
I don't struggle with it. I recognize it. I acknowledge it. I almost chuckle and I live it. Like yesterday, my daughter, blessed, she's pregnant with my second grandchild. And so she says to me, she goes, hey, I'm going to get my genetic testing today. And I said, hey, I said, great, good luck. And I said, hey, does that test tell you if I'm buying American Girl dolls or G.I. Joes? And she laughed. And she laughed. She goes, Dad, you're so funny. And she goes, yes, it does. I'm like, when do you get back?
Right.
And she's like, 7 days. I'm like, oh my God, that blows. It's just, I mean, my life is in the fast lane. My life is next.
Right.
And yet, I looked at it. I'm like, hey, it is what it is. You can't change it. I'm not. I used to want to call the doctor up and scream at him.
Right. Sure.
Right. And
sure.
that's. I mean, come on. That's the maturity part of it. I think.
Well, how about this? Why don't you let me call the doctor up and scream? See, that way you're still patient, but I'll get you the answer in 6 days. How does that sound?
Yeah. It's just crazy. I love the word patient. Because I think you get a better product.
Right. Yep.
In the moment, it's cranky, but as I look at areas in my life where I'm patient, like with this big deal, it wouldn't come together if I wasn't patient.
Right.
And I got people around me that are just absolutely impatient. They're screaming. And I'm just like, man, we're going to be okay.
Right. Well, can we be patient till next week when we get together for coffee again?
Yes.
All right. Good. Hey, good session.
Love you, brother.
Love you.
See you, man.
Literally.
I know. I love you.
Thanks for joining us for today's coffee chat. To contact the show, email us at podcast@Sober.Coffee. If you need immediate help, the AA hotline is 800-839-1686. The National Suicide Prevention Hotline is 800-273-8255. Remember, Mike and Glenn are sharing their own journey on the path to recovery. Any suggestions, medical or otherwise, are their own experiences and should not be viewed as professional advice. See you next week, and remember, there is a solution.
Stay safe in the city of Chicago. Beautiful city.